All right, hello everybody. I'm back. For those of you who've been watching us on Instagram and Facebook, Ari and I were in France this week, and Jared's actually out of town today, so I'm solo. I had to come back just for this, but it's always a pleasure tasting wines and connecting them to the Parsha, so I'm glad to be here. Check out our Instagram stories, and we saved them so you can see everywhere we went. It was a really fantastic trip. Menachem Israelovich, who took us around, works for Royal Corp Europe, which is part of the company of Royal Corp here. Gave us like VIP touring, went to some of the wineries there that are traditionally non-kosher wineries that do kosher runs. We got to taste the wines there. We got to taste barrel samples from the kosher production. Got to tour the wineries, put some really interesting stuff there. It is really amazing to see everything that's going on there. So it's different than touring wineries elsewhere, but it's something really, really special. We also went to Champagne and got to check out the Drapier Champagne House there. That was really fun. So check it out. There's a lot of content there, a lot of interesting information, and I'm sure that even if you're not so interested in the information, the optics and the pictures and the videos, they're really nice to see. This week's Parsha is Vayigash. I usually have Jared here to talk about it, so if I fall short on this one, you'll have to excuse me, but he'll be back next week, and I'm sure he'll do a better job. In a nutshell, Vayigash is to approach, and in this week's Parsha, the brothers approach, or specifically Yehuda approaches Yosef to get the release of his brother Binyamin. Last week, if you remember, we talked about the goblet being put in his bag so that they were able to accuse him of stealing and arrest him. And then in the end, Joseph can't withhold himself, and he reveals that he's their brother, and he wants them to tell their father Yaakov, and for Yaakov to come visit. Very emotional stuff. And the Haftorah actually, which usually there's some form of connection from the Haftorah to the Parsha. Also, it's from Ezekiel. It talks about God commanding them to write on one stick Yehuda, on one stick Yosef, and then to take the two sticks and to fuse them together, to combine them, and they will become one. And it's talking about the Jewish nation that will all become under one house, under one kingdom, and God will gather them together and put them in their land of Israel. And supposedly we're going to have a happy ever after when Mashiach comes. So for now, at least, there's a thriving nation in Israel. But that's the prophecy in the Haftorah. So just like the Parsha talks about Yehuda approaching Yosef, the Haftorah talks about the fusion. So for this week's Parsha and for the Haftorah, the connection we have is a Segal fusion blend. It's a red blend of Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet Franc, and Merlot. It's actually 60% Merlot, 20% Cab Franc, 20% Cabernet Sauvignon. And it's a Bordeaux blend, but it's made in Israel. It's a QPR wine. This wine's under $15, easy drinking, and it's meant to enjoy, liberally. Not that much of a serious wine in terms of aging ability, but it's a drink now wine. But it's something you can, it's affordable, so you can open it during the week, open it for Shabbos whenever you want. It's a great QPR wine. We're going to go ahead and taste it, we as an I, and I'll let you know what it tastes like. In the meantime, I saw some comments from Ari, who asked me if I missed him yet, and Ari, you're always missed. If you came to work here in the office, I would miss you less. Let's put it that way. It's a nice, smooth wine. Definitely get some of the green up front, which is probably from the Cab Franc. It's medium to low acid, medium minus acid. The tannins are a little bit more present than the acid. It's got some underlying fruit flavors that typical to find in wine in general, but specifically in Israel. So yeah, it's a pleasant wine, easy drinking, smooth, round, and at 13.5% alcohol, it's a very nice wine. Sorry, there's no filler when I'm drinking. Usually we try to time that so Jared can speak while I'm drinking. I can talk while he's drinking. But I'm doing all the talking and all the drinking. All right, so next week's Parsha is Vayigash. It's the final Parsha of the book of Genesis, of Sefer Bereshis. And for that, we have the now out of stock 1848 fifth generation Cab Franc. We'll talk about how that ties into the Parsha next week, but also with the culmination of the book of Genesis next week, it means that we're starting a new book the week after, the Sefer Shmos, the book of Exodus, and we will have that case available any day. It's put together, the wines are selected, it's just a matter of getting it up on the website and making it available to you guys. I strongly recommend getting that case in advance, so in 2 weeks' time, we can all do this together, like one big family, like a fusion. And next week we'll talk about this wine, but hopefully we'll have the next case available so you guys will be able to have it on time. All right, I'm going to continue enjoying this wine, but I'm going to let you all go. And it's short Friday, so get ready for Shabbos. Live from Kosherwine.com. It's David wishing you a good Shabbos and looking forward to seeing you next week.